If you've seen this video,
there is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun.
What is happening?
then you saw me on TV. I was the sorority sister. I don't even look like the same person because it was filmed 2 years ago. When y'all were watching that episode, it was actually filmed a year prior, which is crazy. So trying out for this show, I was actually reached out by a casting director. I actually originally tried out for American Idol. And so one of the casting directors that was a judge for that had reached out after the fact because I didn't make American Idol and said, hey, I think you'd be great for another show. Try out for this. And it was I Can See Your Voice. So I did a lot of tryouts in my bathroom and in my car. I had a lot of roommates and so they'd get pissed off with me singing 24/7. So I was doing a lot of videos in my car. And so I had no idea if I was going to make the show. I was doing videos of tryouts for weeks. And then I kid you not, 2 days before the flight that was booked, they told me I made the show. They literally gave me 2 days in advance. And I immediately had to do a COVID test and then a Zoom call with someone to make sure I didn't have COVID. I don't even know. They had to watch me look at my test to make sure I wasn't lying. And so, well, those are the neighbors that were mean to me. I don't like those neighbors. Anyway, so I get on my flight and then I head to Atlanta. It was these studios in Atlanta, and I'll attach the videos because they were huge. The buildings are huge.
It's a fun place. And we're going, our stages for this production are stage 10 and stage.
I want to say it was called Trilogy.
I was so wrong. It's called Trilith.
Studios. I could be wrong, but all the Avengers are filmed there. All of the game shows Family Feud. Family Feud was going on during our film. So they booked a hotel 40 minutes outside of the studios.
I'm possibly being dramatic, but it definitely was 20 to 30 minutes at least.
So we had to drive pretty far every day to go to the studios. And so when I get there, they didn't tell me anybody that was on my cast. So when I go to this hotel, I had no idea who anybody was, and we were pretty isolated, and I didn't really know Atlanta very well. And they didn't really give us food or anything. They gave us a $25 day per diem. Another thing that you might not know about television, they paid us to be there. So I got paid, I don't know, I think I got paid for 5 days. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. The first day, I still didn't meet anybody. I was just in this hotel, not knowing that everybody, pretty much in every episode, was in the hotel. The second or third day, I ended up meeting the cast. And again, it was still the tail end of COVID, so they had us in masks and try to separate us because they also didn't want us to know each other, because how the show works, it's called, again, I Can See Your Voice. And there's a celebrity guest panel. There's a normal person playing the game, and they're trying to guess out of our cast, so there's 6 people, who's a good and who's a bad singer. And so for our episode, there was 3 good singers and 3 bad singers, and I was one of the good singers. And so they didn't even want the cast to know who was good or bad, just to not give it away in the show, which to me was a little silly. It's we're not gonna give it away, but I guess I get it. When I saw the cast, I ended up recognizing people anyway. One guy was Anthony.
You're so smart though.
But he's super big on TikTok and social media. He's one of the best singers on this planet. And I was are you kidding? He's in the cast with me? That was insane to me. And then another girl was Dee Dee from the, oh my gosh, what show was it? I had to look it up. It's the Barry Mack show.
Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. It's Birdie, not Barry.
She was the baby on the show. Which is what? And then there was a couple others. They were just amazing. Beta was another great singer. She ended up winning the show. She was so good.
Lunch lady serving up meals and vacances.
And then Zach.
So
You gotta use it.
I put this wig on because so it's not the same thing.
And then there was another comedian on the show. Our cast ended up being so much fun. So we end up practicing throughout the week, how the show's gonna go and preparing for it. And so one thing TV doesn't tell you is that it's organized chaos. When I tell you, I feel everybody was faking it until they make it. A lot of it was rush, wait, and they were changing costumes at the last minute.
They said, no, what we're gonna do.
Theme parks.
It's giving. They were like Halloween Horror Nights or something.
Yes.
They said, we're gonna call you. Oh yeah, you look cute.
That's another thing. Like, we didn't get to pick our clothes. We didn't get to pick our hair and makeup. Like, none of it. And so, like, when you see that video of me that I attached, they made me look 14 years old.
Why do I look like an 18-year-old? Maybe that's the point. I don't know.
I hated my hair and makeup, though. Richard was my guy. And Richard, you were amazing, but he put my mascara on downwards.
How we feeling, Richard?
Great.
I remember being like, why is he doing that? I don't know if they were trying to do that to keep me looking 14, because like who I was on the show was a sorority sister. But still, it's like, have you watched University of Alabama Rush Week? Those girls do not look 14. They're looking like 25. But anyway, so they were changing songs last minute. I don't know. It made me think I can do anything in life. Like, I learned that so much from the show. Just learning that it was such like organized chaos and having such high expectations. You just think of like Hollywood and like TV being just so big, but I just realized like how obtainable everything is, and it's like just regular people running it. And so like that's a big takeaway. Like, if you want to be in the entertainment industry or anything, start a business, fake it till you make it, because there's a lot of people doing that and they're like in big roles. So it gets to like the end of the week and it's filming time. It was like so crazy. I was on stage while this was being filmed. I'm like, little me be freaking out right now. Like, I still cannot believe I was on national television. Like, that's so insane. But they don't tell you stuff like while things are filming. So I learned a lot. Like, when you're watching a TV show, everything's like concise. Like, there's no breaks. Like, when we were on stage and it was being filmed, Ken Young was our host. And like the stage splits and he started running down. And this was like the funniest thing probably of the whole freaking thing. He goes, oh, gotta do it again. I'm drunk. I was like trying not to laugh, because on stage you're not supposed to talk or say anything. They had to like refilm that part because he messed up. And so like on TV, you don't see that though. Like, you don't see the mess up. You just see somebody like running and starting the show. I was actually the first one off of the game show. They thought I was definitely a bad singer. So who was on the celebrity guest panel? A couple of them that you may know was like Lauren Elena, Cheryl Hines, which when I got to do my reveal song, I ended up making her cry. If her husband, I think Robert Kennedy is his name, like somebody made a joke to me, if he won the election this year, that means I made the first lady cry. Which would actually be insane. So a couple of crazy things that happened after the show, like Ken Young ended up following me on Instagram, which was crazy. I ended up posting like one of my singing videos and it got 12 million views on YouTube, which is wild. It's definitely changed my life. I've gotten a lot more traction, a lot more not fans, family. And like next steps, I'm just like planning to release more music this year and next year. What's crazy about TV is like, it doesn't mean you immediately like have a changed life. You know, that's really where the hustle amps up, because there's a lot of people that have done that too, you know, and they're trying to make it. Right now, I'm still in a 9-to-5 and a part-time job and doing music, which is so crazy. I just never thought I'd be seeing myself on TV and also working a 9-to-5. You just think like, oh, TV is like the end all be all and that's it. But that's really like just the beginning with all of it. But yeah, so please comment more questions that you have. I'll make a part 2. I kind of just wanted to give more of like a rundown of like what happened. Bye guys.